asked a great question. She said, Joy, what mile radius should I distribute my flyers when I'm trying to advertise for my preschool? Because there's like 6 to 8 daycares in my area. Should I go beyond that area? Oh, Amberly, we're gonna blow your mind for a second. So here's the deal. Daycares are not your competition. So I don't even care if there's 50 daycares literally in your area. Forget about them. They're not your competition. They're a completely different market, right? You've got daycares which serve the working parents, the people who have to work, 2 jobs and full-time and things like this. That's not who you're serving. You're trying to serve the people who are either A, a stay-at-home parent, or B, a working at-home parent, or C, a part-time working parent, or finally D, yes, they do work full-time, but they value preschool so much that they're actually gonna get their grandparent or some other provider to transport their kiddo to your preschool. So do you see how literally daycares are not even in the equation? I just forget about them, okay? Forget about them. So when you're trying to think though about how far should you broadcast your flyers, distribute them in your area, that's such a good question. Basically, here's my train of thought. When you think about driving away from your home, what feels like too far for you? So for instance, I lived about 10 miles from a freeway, and I knew that from my home to the freeway was pretty much like a radius where I was comfortable driving pretty much to anything. I would take my kids to dance, I'd take them to gymnastics, I'd take them to soccer, anything kind of around that 10-mile radius. But then when I started going beyond that, it felt like I was going to town, right? Like I live outside of Boise, Idaho, which is the capital. And so when I go to town, that's like 30 minutes, right? And it feels like some other experience. I don't want to be driving my kiddos 30 minutes into preschool. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying here? So I want you to think about your own area. That's why I'm not giving you a specific like 5 miles or 10 miles or 20 miles or whatever. I want you to actually say to yourself, what radius are you normally comfortable with taking your kiddos to extracurricular activities, back and forth and picking them up and multiple times a week? What are you comfortable with? That's going to give you your radius that you can distribute flyers in. So I will give you, on that note though, a couple tips. In my area, we have our city, right? That's outside of the Boise capital, yeah? So we have our city and we're about a good 30 minutes away. And in our city, that's my prime, obviously, location. So I'm gonna distribute my flyers the entire area of my city. That is my hub. That's like my central point, yeah? But then I know that people come from 30 minutes away to my preschool. Maybe I wouldn't, but I do know that other people choose to do that. But there's very few that will actually come 30 minutes to my preschool, but there's some. So when I ever think about, okay, here's my central hub, and here's the people who would come, and that's about 30 minutes away, who is just one ring out from my center? That's literally how I think of this. If 5 miles, yeah, is my center, then 7 miles is about as far out as I want to actually broadcast and distribute those extra flyers, is pretty much as far out as I go. Now, it's all about your area because you might have a bigger area, you might have a different area that is like a pocket of people over there that you'd love to pull into your area. And you know that pocket is like your target market, totally. Go put flyers over there if you know that that's a comfortable distance that people drive day in, day out, and it's not a big deal to take their kiddos to extracurricular activities, okay? Hey, real quick, do you want to start a preschool but you have no clue how to do it? I mean, I know you're loving these videos, that's why you're here, but do you actually want the step-by-step process to get you from where you're at to having a successful preschool so you can stay home with your kids and finally create that consistent income? I've got exactly the right thing for you. I want to gift you a free copy of my book called Start Your Preschool. Guess what? This has over 300 pages teaching you how to do a local or an online preschool. It's my story of how I started my preschool and also how I've shared this knowledge and this mission with everyone over the past 10 years to help thousands of mothers start their own preschools as well. They've literally gone through this exact same training in my book. I want to get it to you so you can finally stay home with your kids. Don't wait. This is your chance. Get your free copy of my book. Simply go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and I'll ship you out a copy for free. I hope you're loving these videos, but let's pause these videos for one quick sec and go get my book. Also, schools, think about that too. So you might be driving your kiddo 5, 10, 20 minutes to school. That is the same kind of concept. If parents are already fine with driving their kiddos that far to school, you're not that far different. So, such a good idea about forgetting about the daycares. It doesn't matter how many daycares are in your area. Even if you have literally like strictly just preschools that are very similar to what you're gonna be creating, you should still think about broadcasting and distributing your flyers all the way out here. Completely different method on how you actually choose those target markets, and we'll get into that in another video. But I hope that's been super helpful to figure out how far you should actually distribute your flyers in your area and how wide will people actually come to you. I did have one parent who came literally 45 minutes. Here's how, I only have a 2.5 hour preschool class, right? So she would drive literally 45 minutes to preschool and she'd hang out there because it'd be way too long to like go back. That's an hour and a half. So she'd hang out in the city with some friends and then she'd drive her kiddos back 45 minutes. But she came to me for an hour and a half. She came every single day because she had multiple kiddos in different classes, and then she had a kindergartner with me. So parents have driven 45 minutes for me before, but it's very rare. It's a little bit more common to be the 30-minute driving, but it's very common to be the 5 to 10-minute driving radius. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, be sure to subscribe, share, and like so I can get more of these videos in front of you. Thanks so much, and be sure to put in the comments, what do you think your driving radius is that you feel comfortable with? Are you fine with 5, 10, 15 miles away? Post in the comments. I'd love to find out what your radius is that you'd love to take your kiddos to extracurricular activities. We'll see you on the next video. If you find help with these videos, I have to do that one again. I'd love to be able to get more of these videos into your feed with YouTube. Try again, okay.